this is Pyropanda.
And this is Hydrofox. And this week, we're going to be talking about female gamers and their perceptions. Also, we're going to be talking about their roles in esports. So far, there's been a misconception when it comes to female gamers. Most people, when they think of them, they usually think they're just very sexy, that they're lying, saying that they're trying to get into a dude's pants, or that they're lesbians, or that they're just doing it just to, they don't really know what they're doing. And personally, I just realized that a lot of those misconceptions are very negative. What do you think, Pyro?
I think they're ridiculous. It doesn't sound like normal people at all.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that's a little dehumanizing, don't you think?
Yeah, well, it is. And it kind of like, it reflects us as human beings fighting for equality or something stupid like that. It's a very important topic.
It's definitely an important topic, mostly because I have friends who are female gamers. Like, sometimes they just hit me up and be like, hey, Hydro, you want to go play some games? I'm like, yeah. So we pop up Call of Duty, we fight, and guess what? She wins. Ah! Nah, I just really suck. They're just really good.
Yeah, you probably do suck. No, I'm just kidding. But, I mean, what's important is we are brought up from first grade. First grade, I have you hearing the golden rule: treat others the way that you want to be treated. And yet we still squander over stupid things like what's a female gamer and all their misconceptions. Like you had a list of misconceptions saying that they suck, that they're this, that they're that. And I get proud. I get legit proud every time I see a female gamer succeed at what they're doing, because they're proving the masses wrong.
It's definitely inspiring to see someone be really good at what they do, but not just because they're female, but they're just naturally talented and they really love what they do,
It's true. I mean, of course that's true. You have someone who's really good at what they're doing, they're going to be inspirational to many people. And pro gamers are inspirational because a lot of people play games.
I guess the way I've always seen it is that, for me anyways, I never really seen it as male gamer and female gamer, because most of the time, you just meet someone, they're like, hey, you like to play this? I'm like, oh, sure. Oh, don't you like that part in that game? I'm like, oh, man, don't spoil it for me. I actually have a friend who's a really big fan of the Final Fantasy 13 series, and she tells me how much it's changed her life, and I do agree that it's a very, very beautiful game. And to find that kind of passion, it's really cool. I enjoy that kind of company. What do you think, Panda?
I've raided with female gamers. I played games like World of Warcraft with female gamers. I played Hearthstone with female gamers. It's amazing. The fact that they are just as capable as males, and it's sad when people discredit them. When you have your 10-year-old or your 16-year-old talking mad shit over Xbox Live, which is sad in the beginning. It's almost as sad as living in your mother's basement sad. It's ridiculous.
I know one of the reasons why this topic tends to interest us is because the International Esports Federation had hosted a tournament in Finland where they exempted women. The whole demographic of women were not allowed to play in the tournament.
Well, the thing is, they had, in a sense, it's not that the whole demographic of women weren't allowed to play. It was that they had a separate tournament for themselves.
So, I want to say demographic in terms of the people that were already there. I don't mean the whole demographic.
That's the thing, though.
But anyway,
they weren't doing it in spite of women. They didn't think that it was against equality or anything. What they thought was they're trying to make it a legitimate sport, and everyone who wants esports, including myself, to be a legitimate sport, advocates for that. But they did it wrong, and I'll explain this. I'll say what they did was they took a non-gender specific thing, a non-gender specific sport, and tried to segregate it. try to make men play this game and females play that game. They had a female league for StarCraft. They had a female league for Dota and Tekken Tag. That's ridiculous.
Well, there was definitely a separation, and this actually caused some disagreements and controversy on the internet when the news hit, and a lot of people tend to protest, and I think Blizzard actually spoke against the whole issue.
Yeah, they want a all-inclusive community, which is what they should want. It is. I mean, there's nothing gender specific, like I said, about StarCraft. You don't say, okay, men can play StarCraft better. No. Oh,
and those of you who aren't familiar, Blizzard is a video game company that actually are well known for their StarCraft franchise, their World of Warcraft franchise, and the game that was to be played in this tournament, Hearthstone, was developed also by Blizzard.
Yeah, so they were advocating for their own game to be, all-inclusive genders.
And of course, a couple days after, the IESF removed the male-only restriction from the esports. So when they removed it, do you happen to know why? Was it the result of the outcry, or is it because
It's the result of the outcry. I mean, enough people spoke up against it, and then they changed their mind, and I think that was a good thing for them.
And I still remember there was this one dude, I think I read in a comment, or I think it was in the article itself, where it said that, is this really what we want as a community? Do we really want this type of isolation of a group to be, I guess, represented in this sport, in this whole tournament?
Exactly. We need the competition. I mean, if you want to prove that you're the best in the world, if you want to get good at something, you need to fight the best. So it's almost like when you're hiring someone, right? You're hiring because they're the best at what you're trying to hire, right? At the job you have. You're not hiring because they're female. You're not hiring because they're this or they're male or they're some race. You're hiring because they're the best at their job. At least you're hoping so.
Yeah, I mean that would be ideal, but I do know that certain parts of the country, certain places, even if you are good at something, just because you're female, you tend to be paid a little less than you're supposed to.
And that's why a topic like this needs to be brought up, because we need to just humanize ourselves and find equality in
we have to care,
these issues.
people.
Well,
These people, you have to care.
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of issues with people and their perceptions of female gamers, and it's all wrong.
Well, to be honest, I feel like that it's just a following the crowd sort of thing. Oh, these people, they should be making sandwich, but you should be making us a sandwich. I don't know why they should be doing this. And I'm just sitting here and be like, where did that come from?
It's an age-long old thing. That's stupid.
I get the feeling it's just it's a whole playground thing. Like, it's all like, oh, the girls shouldn't be ball monitor. I don't know why they get to choose. We should get the ball. And
I don't know. I would like to be chosen by a girl.
What?
I would like to be chosen by a girl. So, there's just so many things, and whether you believe in our positions or not, it really depends on you.
Well, no, actually, yeah, guys. I mean, if you disagree or you agree with us, just write down in the comments below. If you want to contribute to this conversation, go on ahead. Just give your thoughts in the doobly-doo down below. Does anybody ever even say doobly-doo anymore?
Ben, everyone says that. Everyone says that.
I've always wanted to say that, though. I remember I've always wanted to say that. Click doobly-doo down below.
We should come up with our own thing about it. We should be in the...
All right, guys. Comment your paws down in the comments below.
I like that. Type with your paws in the comments below.
Type your paws in the comments down below.
So, yeah. I think that pretty much does it for female gaming. I'm still an advocate for females that want a game, that want to be treated equal because they should be. And our next topic would be what we read today, or not just read today, but what are we playing? You know,
What a way to
playing,
transition,
reading,
right? A
watching.
heavy topic to a more casual one.
Yeah, that was a deep topic.
Yeah, but it's that's what conversations are for. You talk about cool stuff like that. You just talk.
And then you go into a more relaxing conversation about games and movies and such that we're playing. So
Speaking of games and movies and books, actually, so far I still have Skyrim and BioShock just laying on top of my Xbox, just waiting to be played. But so far I've been too distracted by this one book called A Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith.
Robert Galbraith?
Robert Galbraith, you may know him. Well, he's really not a him. It's actually a her. It's really not. Actually, Robert Galbraith isn't even a real person. Turns out it's actually a pseudonym for a person you may know as J.K. Rowling.
Oh, shit.
I know. And what's
Why did they
interesting
change
too?
their... Why did she change her name?
Well, she just
because
wanted
she
to be
didn't
able
want
to.
to...
Well,
on.
she wanted to be able to publish a book without pressure, without hype, without without anyone really trying to put pressure on her. Really,
Is it,
because
is it
she's
worth it? Is it a good read like Harry Potter apparently was?
Well, actually, there's a different style to this book. This is actually a crime novel. It's a detective novel, and it's really meant for adults. It's definitely for Harry Potter fans growing up.
Is it like what do you call that? What's that term? Noir, right?
Maybe would it be considered noir? It's definitely. I saw it more as like an episode of.
Like.
I wouldn't go so far as to call it noir because it's not the main character isn't narrating, but it's really more of a. It's definitely a detective genre. It's a mystery genre. It's interesting, and I really like it. But
the girl came to my door, asking in full red, "Please, sir, help me." Alrighty, so.
Oh yes. Oh, and if you guys want to know, me and Pyro are detectives.
We are detectives in a comic that I wish we would continue.
Oh, guys, please! If we get enough support, I am more than willing to continue the comic.
Detective, see?
Detective, see?
So, I think it's cool. I think that basically in Detective C, I don't want to get into it. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, some other episode.
In some other episodes. And
oh yeah.
I've been watching Black Butler, which I think is really cool. And
Kuro Shitsuji.
Whatever you said, I watched it in dub, so I didn't get any Japanese
dubber.
He's
a dubber.
I'm a dubber. I'm sinned. I've sinned. Okay, so again, please leave a comments down below what you guys think about female gaming. It's very important to us.
If you have
what
any
you think?
animes, books, or any kind of games you recommend to us, just give us a little. Type with your paws down below.
Yeah, type with your paws down below.
And this has been this week's episode. So, guys, pick a side.
Pick a side. The bear
or the fox. Choose wisely, people.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching this episode.
If you enjoyed what Z heard,
then subscribe.
And tune in next week for The Bear
and the Fox.